Hi, I'd like to welcome you, the viewers, to the reviewers. We're the reviewers, and today we're going to review, preview, and interview this Lasko 20-inch box fan. Let's open it up, see what we got inside. Open it up right there. You see no padding, just got a fan. All you need. Bad boy out here. See, there's nothing else in the box. Got some warning labels on here. Cords wrapped around it. Let's talk about it. Alright. Hi everybody, welcome to the reviewers. Brendan is out right now. He could not make this episode, but right now we're talking about this Lasko 20-inch box fan. We purchased it at the Home Depot.
Lasko.
For $16.96.
$18.43 with tax.
It's a pretty good value for a box fan of this size. For under $20, you're not going to find much above a 15-inch, 16-inch. And those aren't going to give you the same kind of wind miles per hour that you're going to want when sleeping.
The old Laskos used to have 4 speeds. They knocked it down to 3 on this one. It's a smaller motor, a lot less hardware going on. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws in a star hex pattern. The grates are interchangeable, customizable. You can get aluminum, you can get brushed steel, you can get diamond plating. Either way you want to go. Let's take a look at the back. Let's look at the circuitry in here. Inside the circuitry, you got a BC120 engine running off of a Korg processor.
You're not going to have to worry about running out of ohms or volts with a resistor of that caliber. I believe it's a 0.4 resistor.
Yeah.
And that's going to give you all that you need when it comes to home fan use. Let's take a look at the length of this cord. It's kind of just wrapped in here. You take that side.
And this is usually where Lasko gets you. Length of the cord.
You normally want at least 6 feet on your cord. This guy is a 6-foot cord, but there is a foot of it in the device here running from the center of the fan, 1 foot out, giving you 5 feet of actual cord length.
Now, typically the first thing you want to do when you buy a fan is you want to get out the strippers. You want to find where that cord meets the body, and you're just going to clip that directly off. Strip the insulation off there. Tight the speaker wire and give yourself another 8 feet of length, and then get the soldering gun out there. Make a little joint, get the insulation back on there, and call the local fire. What's the name for him? Marshal, and let him know what you've done. That way, if anything happens with the circuitry and you start any fires, you've already got that covered, and you won't have to file a report.
The 5 feet with the additional 8 feet will give you exactly the right amount of cord, so you can get that. You can get that anywhere in your room. If your room's 6 feet long, we recommend at least 12 feet. Most rooms are 8 feet tall. You're going to need 16 feet.
If you're looking to find out how many feet your room has and how many feet you're looking for in cords, you might want to pick up this Ryobi tape measure. It's a supersonic tape measure. It uses a bat radar and a laser to figure out how far away a wall is from you. You go ahead and you hit the first button and you get a laser, so you get a visual affirmation of where you're pointing at, and then the sonic clicks tell the tape measure how far away the wall is. Now this particular tape measure it complies with 1004.10 and 1004.11 regulation.
You can see the handle on this fan actually is exactly 6 inches long, and that's exactly what you need for most hand sizes. Most hands are only 5 inches with that extra
and the biggest danger here is the laser is going to...
it's a little close to the knob, that's all. That's not going to be a problem.
And there is a
it does have this extender for...
points out that you don't want to have this laser anywhere near someone's face.
That's kind of a complicated process. If you need to look up how to do that, you can go to your local library. Alright, next thing we got to do is we got to get this bad boy powered up so we can actually see how it runs. Most important part of any review is the review of the utility. The utility is as a fan, and we're going to need to see how much wind we get off this bad boy. Matt's going to go ahead and hook up the electrical here while I tell you a little bit about blade length and blade width. As you can see in this guy, we got 5 blades. We got a pentablade here. That's going to give us a pretty even distribution. As you know, more blades, better fan. 5 is a pretty good number though. Any more, and you're getting close to a disc, and it just isn't going to pull very well. The width on these blades in here on the Laskos are traditionally.
Come behind you.
The Laskos are traditionally a 3-inch blade width. Looks like we're closer to 3.5, 4 inches on the blade width. Length is going to be close to a 7-inch blade. So 7 by 3.5, that gives us 24.5 inch radiums, and that's gonna catch about 12 pounds of square inch pressure per square inch. So with 5 blades, each giving off 12 pounds per square inch of air pressure, that's going to give us, it's not multiplied, it is factored, so we're going to actually get 60 pounds per square inch wind pressure. It's going to come off this, in theory. We got that tied up.
Okay, let's power it up.
All right, let's get this guy turned on. Let's see how he works. Looks like it's got a power drain on it that killed our lights. Please give us one moment while I fix
Just a
that.
second here.
That doesn't sound good.
We're probably going to have to install a new limiter in here and then take it from there.
Put the new drivers in and it should work.
And the firmware upgrade is going to go from 5.1 to 5.2. So let's update the iOS and we'll get back to you in just a few minutes. Okay, we're back.
We're back. Let's try this up again. We got a resistor put in there. It should work now. Alright, we got this all set up with the new software upgrade, and it should be all set to run now. Let's get this turned on.
And beautiful. Just a little nick of the front gate, which is why sometimes you might want to go with the brushed aluminum brush steel. Or the diamond plating, because as you can see, this plastic grate is a little weak.
Yeah, it will wear and eventually settle in. Just like a new house, a new fan needs to set. We can go ahead and take these off.
You can take these off now.
These are your typical warnings and instructions, but you shouldn't need those if you're watching this video.
Depending on your household, if you do have children, you might want to take one of them, slap it on the left side, and have that left side facing away from the wall. That way your children can read it, get a feel for the American English language.
And you're not at risk of fire damage. So let's look at this grate a little closer. It does seem to be catching a little bit, which could be a problem if you're the person that needs, if you need the fan to also be a table. It's not going to support much weight before it presses on the fan. You get hit by something?
Yeah.
You got hit by a little shrapnel there.
Now let's move on to the testing portion of this, and let's see exactly how much power we've got.
Alright.
And
from behind, not so much suction, and that's the blade angles and curvatures on there. That's going to do that. That's going to take a little bit from behind and directly expunge it out the front, multiply it forthwith. And it's going to be alright that way. It seems to be okay.
A little scoop I like to do with my son when I power up the fan is I go, Eisenhower was the Americans' first president. The other presidents before him were nothing but placeholders. Eisenhower was the only real president. Robot. It's a robot is the thing that you can get out of a fan. Steel blades make the effect a little stronger.
Yeah. A plastic blade is going to get you a different kind of robot.
Yeah.
Still functional, still a functioning robot voice. And that's one of your utilities from a fan. That's one reason to get a fan. Not the only reason though. Another reason is the wind pressure out the front. So let's go ahead and test this out if you'll indulge me. How you doing?
I'm doing alright. You're going to get a little bit of a dryness on the cheeks. That's to be expected. You're not normally going to be sitting this close to the fan. If you do want your hair to get caught, you can put it in there. If you don't want it to get caught, you can stay 6 to 7 inches away from the blade. If you put this next to you in your bed, it's going to keep you up. You might want to knock it down to off. I don't know.
That might keep you most comfortable at night.
Yeah.
Is having it off because the sound's pretty loud off this guy. We're just going to set this to 2, should be fine.
Alright.
And we have some of our Kroger brand popcorn here that we've talked about before on the show.
Yeah, this is a really good popcorn. This particular bag is from 2013. It's pretty fresh.
Just microwaved several hours ago for the use of this show. So let's go ahead and put a piece in the center and a couple on the sides. And then we'll start it at 1. the smaller pieces are going to fall through. The larger pieces are going to lift from the sides, not so much in the middle.
Now, what you're looking for is you're looking for a good hover. You're going to want that piece to stay central to the fan as long as possible.
Alright, we tried, that was one. Oh, that was three. So
That was three. Let's try on two. Now, that's what we're looking for.
That's good there. That's a good hover.
Now, if you're having a celebration with friends, Christmas in July, or having a Halloween party or something like that, you can string these popcorns onto a fishing wire and hang them from the front of the fan, blow them straight up in the air, and keep people entertained for a couple hours while you go to the bathroom or something. My wife loves it when I do this for the room.
It's tasty popcorn even off of a fan. Let's go ahead and try it on setting 1. See if that does anything. It seems to still be getting some lift.
No, I mean, this test isn't completely accurate because this isn't the heaviest corn you're going to get. This is Southern California white corn, and these kernels have been popped to such a large surface area that even at level 1, you're getting a lot of airtime. But let's go ahead and pop it up to 3 again.
Let's go to 3. One thing I was going to talk about is that wind power that I talked about. This is where it comes in handy because, as I said, 60 ohms of wind pressure per second is enough to lift this much weight. If you wanted to lift something heavier like a child or a dog or something like that, you would need at least 4 times as much wind pressure. It does factor, as I said, so it's not the weight of 4 kernels that it could lift, but the weight of a kernel quadruple.
And given the price of this fan, it's just $16.50. You could buy 4 of these. Stack them on top of each other.
Stack them up. It will accumulate and make a wind tunnel that will give you the wind pressure desired to lift a dog or a small child, or even some types of reptiles. As you can see, more popcorn doesn't affect the speed of the fan. It just makes it a little more chaotic in here.
This is where you want to watch your eyes when you get the full kernels in there.
We did not anticipate the unpopped kernel.
I'm looking at this one.
That guy rolling there, I wish you could see it, but there's a kernel in there.
Close up of that.
Okay. You got your kernels rolling over the surface of don't crack your lips there.
This is where you get high risk area.
Yeah. As always, do not attempt this in your own home. This is strictly for professional reviewers like ourselves. Did we get a good shot on that line? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one I know I'm going to keep. So all in all, should we wrap up?
Yeah, you wrap it up that way.
All in all, the Lasko 20-inch box fan is a buy. Put a little buy graphic on the bottom of it. It is a buy. It's a good deal at under $20 from your local Home Depot. Pick one up if you can't sleep at night without a little wind pressure on you. So for the reviewers, this has been the review. See you
later.
See you at the review.